Hello. Firstly, just acknowledging with gratitude that you're here with me. I really appreciate that you're here. I do. I want to talk about something that I think is apparent, but perhaps you haven't heard about it through this way or you haven't thought about it this way. And if you have, maybe this space will just be a reminder to know that that possibility of thought exists. I want to talk about being emotionally, energetically, mentally overwhelmed. Um, that's a big topic. I want to focus on one sliver of that, which is to say, oversaturated with other people's energy, oversaturated with the world's energy, with the political energy, with the environmental energy, taking on so much external strife and struggle that we forget or we lose track of how to operate authentically. Beautifully, our minds and our systems are like an extended version of your liver. When there's toxins in, it focuses on removing those toxins. But when we are in a society with the internet and with our expanding awareness of each other and with other places on this planet that are going through genuine suffering, as we evolve into that space of that connected globe, we are taking on, or taking in rather, so much more information that when we have currently been able to process. And so we get overwhelmed, burnt out, and quite frankly, we forget that we have moment by moment choices where we can choose to engage in life rather than habitually or instinctually react to it in a survival way. And if that didn't turn you off from the video, thank you for sticking around because that was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. I think that we need to begin to look at ourselves as a planet. I think we need to understand that we're aware of Syria, that we're aware of the concentration camps, if we're going to go there, in our southern border. We're aware of the genocides in Rwanda and in Africa, the persecution in we're aware of it. We are aware of it. It is in our field. It is in our psyche. It is in our energy. And we've developed a habit as a culture to scroll through social media. And each one of those headlines has been geared to grab your attention. Each one of those headlines has been geared to pack the most emotional punch, pack the most energetic punch, wow, pack the most mental punch to get your attention drawn into that space. So as you scroll, you are slowly picking up ping after ping, energetic punch after energetic punch, just filling your space with energy that is not inherently yours, but is something that we as a globe are going through. And so we're in this really interesting space of being aware of the all, but only being in control of ourselves. And that can lead to frustration, burnout, just depression, anxiety. How do I fix this? What do I do about it? And we try to personalize the world's struggle rather than think about how we as a person can influence it. We try to make the world's problems something that you can personally fix. And there are things that are so big. There are things that are so big that you can't fix racism, but you can participate in the changing of that system. You can't fix the genocide, but you can participate in mindsets, in conversations, in displays of compassion that counteract those forces. But unless you're able to stay centered in you, unless you're able to call upon God, I'm going there, y'all, and find your center, find your groundedness, find your connectedness, find your heart, find your soul, find your relationship with your truth, with the bigger truth. Unless you can take a moment and recenter to cleanse yourself of the distractions those energies put in your field, unless you allow yourself that moment, you'll be walking around trying to solve the world's problems with only your two hands. And that's not how this is going to be fixed. It's not. And that's a burden that is not yours to bear. But we don't oftentimes realize that we're putting it on our shoulders. There is so much going on in the collective right now, which is to say, around the world, there is so much going on that I believe personally that there is a low level anxiety that is consistent through all humans. We're aware that something is off, we're aware that something's not jiving, and we don't have words for it because you might be feeling the anxiety of Syria. I believe personally that that's where we're going as a species, as a connected entity. The internet is just a physical manifestation of what our hearts have always been trying to do, which is connect and unify all of us. We're going there, y'all. We're going all the way out there. And I think that it's important to understand that though those clouds might be going through your system, that you have the opportunity to ground yourself. That God never exists far away. That centeredness is always the next breath away. Those cliches, but they're cliche because they're true. And so with this climate going on around us, with the social, energetic, emotional turmoil that's going on around the planet, I ask of you, how sturdy is your relationship with God? Let's go right for it. Let's go right for it. What is your relationship with the unchanging changer, the unmoving mover, the steadiness and the vibrancy? How do you relate to that? And if you are looking for an answer, I would follow up with the next question of what can you do to strengthen that relationship? Because we are animals and we will react instinctively, which is usually to bite or to save or to be codependent or to be the victim or to be the martyr or to be the rescuer. And those are all have their place. But who are you beyond those things? What is your core? What is the truth? And do you allow yourself a relationship with yourself and with your God where you can act that way rather than instinctually, where you can act in your evolved nature rather than your animal nature? Do you allow yourself that time? Do you allow yourself that liberty, that freedom, that grace, that mercy to get out of your habits, to dispel all of that negative energy, all of that dense anxiety energy? You are in the world, but you are not of it. So bring who you are to this world and watch it change. Bit by bit, ripple by ripple. I think it was important and is important in this moment to acknowledge that a lot of the energy that you might feel brought down by, speaking to you empaths, a lot of that might not be needed for where you're trying to go. It might be fuel to the fire. It might energize you. You might see the suffering and say, I need to do something about it. Run, go, be. And if you see it and you get put in your cage, if you see the suffering and get overwhelmed to the point of not knowing what to do, that A means you care. And B means that you're still figuring out what it is you're going to do with the fact that you care. And the best way to figure out what you're going to do is to allow yourself stillness, to allow yourself calmness, to allow yourself a relationship with God, which is to say to allow yourself a relationship with your truth, which is to say to allow yourself to be comfortable and expressive of who you are. The you that God knows, the you that is intentionally here at this time with all of this weather, all of this energetic weather, all of this anxiety, all of this turmoil, the you that is meant to be here from a bigger plan than we understand. That's the you that I would love to meet, that I think could really change the world. And so allow yourself, I'm going to hit this one more time, allow yourself to reconnect with God or deepen your relationship. Allow yourself to put your feet on the ground and understand that this earth, despite what people may say about it, can cleanse your stuff. Christ can cleanse your stuff. Buddha can take your mind away from what's distracting you. I personally like to stand with my feet in the grass and understand that this world, this planet, this earth can take the weight of whatever I'm carrying. And then I let it. I lay it at the cross. I lay it down at the oak tree. Same spiel for me. So that's that. That's that. Bullet point it. A lot of the energy around isn't yours, but it is prompting you to a deeper relationship to your God, which is a deeper relationship to you, which is the first step in acting in ways that will resolve the world's anxieties, is to be authentic and to be shown up. You are more than an animal that acts on instinct. You're an evolved, spiritual, holy being that has the capacity to make new choices, not just habits. And I want to see you like that. I want to see myself like that. I want to live in that world. And that's the heart of the matter, my friends. I love you very much. I'll be back.